Hello everyone, I'm Panne776. Hope you all had a great Christmas. I certainly did. Now it's time for New Year. One of my favourite banners of the year. Well, it has been in the past. Hopefully it is this time as well. Starting off here with Ash! Yes, Ash. Honestly, Ash, Askr, Embla have all been great characters. Book 6 was a really good addition. And well, yeah, New Year's Ash. Say hello. A blue infantry beast unit. And we're starting off with a very strong looking unit here. I mean, I haven't read the text yet. I can just see a lot of it. So that's what we're working off of here. Ash's weapon is the Heralding Horn. Accelerates special trigger, cooldown count -1 if foe initiates combat or if foe's HP is greater than or equal to 75% at start of combat, grants attack +6 to unit and inflicts attack -6 on foe during combat, and also grants the following effects based on the number of allies within free spaces. If greater than or equal to 1 ally, if unit has weapon triangle advantage, or if foe initiates combat, unit attacks twice. Bit of a weird nested if there, or well, I assume it's nested anyway. And if greater than or equal to 2 allies, reduces damage from foe's first attack during combat by 40%, and if greater than or equal to 3 allies, foe cannot make a follow-up attack. Start of turn. If units adjacent to only beast or dragon allies, or if units are not adjacent to any ally, unit transforms, and of course, as a beast unit we get the standard infantry beast, the new standard infantry beast transformation effect, which is +2 attack, +7 damage when special triggers, and tempo. Okay, so we're looking at having allies within free spaces. Free space is pretty big radius, pretty easy to get people within free spaces. 2 spaces is a little tighter, free spaces is very, very doable. So yeah, allies within free spaces, and if you can get 3 allies within free spaces, which is pretty doable, as I've said, you're getting, what are you getting? You're getting a brave attack if you've got weapon triangle advantage, or just on enemy phase at all, you get that brave attack. You get 40% damage reduction from foe's first attack, and you get follow-up prevention. And honestly, the brave attack is probably the most important part, and that's only at 1 ally anyway, so pretty solid weapon there. Yeah, 1 ally, 2 allies, reduces damage from foe's first attack, and if you're enemy phasing, the 3 allies thing will only come into effect if you're actually getting to the foe's follow-up attack anyway, assuming you haven't finished them off with your brave attack response. So yeah, most of the time 2 allies is going to be getting all the effects you need out of this weapon. The 3rd ally is just a little fun little bonus. That's good to see. Of course, having built-in tempo is really strong for the infantry beasts, and comes with Bonfire as the special, which it looks like this is going to be a pretty defense-heavy unit as well, because we also have in the A slot Distant Reversal, which is another one of the special distant counters. This one is a defense stance distant counter. Unit can counterattack regardless of foe's range, and if they initiate combat, grants defense +5 to unit during combat. Cool. B slot, attack defense bulwark, free, another source of bulwark skills, very cool. They are basically the improved obstruct, the 2 space range obstruct for ranged units, attack defense -4, so a little better than a low, assuming there's no buffs involved, and 7 HP healing after combat, all very, very useful skills. In C slot, we have Ash's old PRF coming back, opening retainer, and this is what makes Ash very strong as a support unit as well as a combat unit. Allies within 2 spaces move to a space within 2 spaces of the unit, and grants attack +4 to allies within 2 spaces during combat, and if units within 2 spaces of an ally, attack +4 to unit. So Ash works very well as a centerpiece for your team, as a unit that can go in and all of your allies can move around her to get their jobs done. And this Ash also looks like a pretty threatening combat unit as well. They've gone for a bonfire build here, but... well, I mean, that kind of makes sense in the sort of enemy phase role they kind of seem to want for her. Understandable. It's also possible that she could be a decent enough Gale Forcer. Obviously not as widely applicable as some of the others, since she's only getting that brave attack on player phase if she's attacking into a red unit, but still has the slaying, still has the tempo. Basically any infantry beast unit can be a Gale Forcer at this point, but again, that +7 damage effect means that you might really want to go for just those big enemy phase specials. Understandable. Not an Omni tank by any stretch of the imagination, but a really decent looking, tanky, high damage bruiser of a unit. Let's keep going. There is the classic Ash cow transformation, except this time it is a New Year's sort of cow.
I do not offer much.
And there's one big bonfire. Pretty juicy defense stat in that case. Next up, it is Elm, who is in Seasonal Hell. Hello.
What is it about the new year
Resolute Grouch. Yes. So yes, Batman is here. Another really long-looking unit. He is a green flying beast. With the Fang of Finality. Accelerate special trigger, cooldown count -1 if you initiates combat or is not adjacent to an ally. Grants attack speed +6 to unit, neutralizes effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks, and deals damage equal to X% of unit speed, where X is the number of foes within free spaces of target, including target, times 10 during combat, excluding area of effect specials, max 30%. Okay. If unit is not adjacent to an ally, reduces damage from attacks during combat and from area of effect specials, excluding rogue or area of effect specials, by percentage equal to the number of foes within free spaces of target, including target, times 20, max 60%. And then Flying Beast unit at start of turn, if it's only adjacent to beast or dragons, or not adjacent to anything, transforms and gets 1 extra space of movement and +2 attack. So the theme here is the number of foes within free spaces of target, including target, times 10. Basically, if there are 2 foes within free spaces of the target, and then the target themselves becomes the 3rd foe because it includes target, right? Elm here is getting 30% of his speed as true dealt damage and 60% damage reduction, and that's not for the first attack, that is for all attacks. So despite being a flying unit and maybe not having the best tanky stats since he seems very attack speed focused, he might be pretty survivable anyway, honestly, with 60% damage reduction. Of course, free space movement is very good, and then you also have offensive null follow-up, you have attack speed +6, and you just have a big amount of dealt damage. Very often it's going to be 30% of unit speed, so if you can get even a half-decent speed stat on this unit, like for 50 speed, that's going to be 15 extra damage. That's considerable. And you can probably go higher than 50, honestly. Pretty simple to go higher than 50. So that seems pretty usable there. Luna is for special. It's just a good special, honestly. Beast N Trace. Is it Beast and Trace? Is it Beast Near Trace? Is it... I think it's Beast Near Trace, but I find it funny that they're specifying near even though they had to shorten it to N, because as far as I'm aware, there are not any range to beast units. There aren't. But this is Canto, Rem +1, and removes the condition to transform. So very similar to what Embla had, but instead of the flow effect, it is a Canto effect. Makes sense seeing as Elm already has bad offensive null follow-up in his weapon. So another great option for all you beast players out there who want to use beasts in mixed teams. Now, there's one more skill in the pool for you to do that with. Very cool. And in the C slot, Colorless Feud Free, which very flavorful considering Elm's relation to Ash and Askr, both of whom are colorless units. Yeah, pretty decent looking. Like as a free movement melee unit with flying movement, Elm is one of the most mobile units in the game, and is just a pretty high damage, pretty tanky fighter as well. So yeah, another great unit here. Let's keep going.
Don't celebrate just yet.
I like the art too on this one. Next up we have... Oh ho ho! It's Panne.
Is there really such a thing as a year of the rabbit?
It is Panne.
Then wouldn't
Good.
that make it
I was worried
our
I'd
year?
confused Panne and Yarne for a second there. No, this is Panne. The other one's Yarne. Panne is a red cavalry beast. I think I read that right. Armed with the keen rabbit fang. So, Panne, as we all know, rabbit. The rabbit fang is effective against cavalry foes, accelerates special trigger cooldown count -1. If a unit initiates combat as not adjacent to an ally, grants attack speed +6 to unit, neutralizes effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks, reduces damage from foe's first attack by 40%. Also, if unit speed is greater than or just greater than foe's speed, grants special cooldown charge +1 to unit per attack during combat. And then the transformation condition, and if unit transforms, attack +2, attack defense -4 on initiation, and foe cannot make a follow-up attack on initiation. Interesting enough, I think this is our 4-star unit, but very strong looking for a 4-star here. The weapon is a bit simpler than the others, because it is just... Well, the cavalry effectiveness is a pretty nice thing to have. Cavalry effective in slaying, very strong. Attack speed +6. Offensive null follow-up. 40% damage reduction, and flashing blade, which is another thing that's really good to have on this kind of unit, because they can't naturally equip flashing blade because it has really stupid movement type locks for some reason. So this is what you've got to work with, okay? This is your option now. But yeah, that's basically just every effect you kind of want on a decently strong offensive unit. Yeah, no follow-up, special acceleration, damage reduction. Yeah. Slaying. Effectiveness. Yeah. Pretty decent merge project. I don't think necessarily the strongest 4-star special we've ever had for merging. I think that title still goes Summer Claude, but this is just still a very solid unit with a very solid PRF. Special Luna, the A slot, attack speed clash free. Yes, the clash skills are pretty good for cavalry, not gonna lie, because you can pretty easily stack up a big number. The only problem they've had in the past is that Clash 4 requires a whole inheritance by itself. There is no handy 4-star you can fodder off Clash 3 on and then just tip over to Clash 4 with the very last one. Well, no longer. Here's Clash 3. Attack speed Clash 3. So now you can grab Clash 4 using this as for a step up to Clash 3, and well, whatever other skill you want to inherit, 3 stages of it. Good for you. And the beast slot low speed defense 3, another skill that is like probably one of the better options for offensive cavalry units, because again, on cavalries, basically it's either you're running a lull or you're running a trace for most units. There are a couple other options, but those are the big 2. B slots are really the realm of infantry and armors most of the time, and then other classes get a fun B slot occasionally as a treat. But yeah, altogether, a solid unit, and again, following the theme of the banner, they're all melee beasts. They all make pretty decent offensive bruisers, honestly. They've all been sort of filling that role. They'd all work as Gale forces as well, probably. It's just a good banner for that, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see what she does. I have a rock transformation, and ooh, very fluffy. Too bad. And then our duo, it is, oh, of course, but I love that outfit, Askr and Embla.
There's the Embla, I know.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Colorless Tome Infantry, and I'm sure they showed us their AoE for a reason, because they just took nothing there. Okay, so yeah, Colorless Tome Infantry not being a beast unit, despite the fact they're both beasts, they're choosing to be a tomeful instead as a duo. Armed with the Duality Vessel. Accelerate special trigger, cooldown count -1. Units within 3 spaces of an ally. Grants attack speed, defense res +5 to unit during combat. He makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. Inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on foe per attack. Only highest value applied, does not stack. Reduces damage from foes' attacks during combat by 20% of units' defense, excluding area of effect specials. And also, if the unit's defense is greater than foes' defense, reduces damage from area of effect specials, excluding Roku area of effect specials, by a difference between stats times 1.5. You think that they should just put something special on the actual Roku area of effect special, rather than having to put excluding Roku area of effect specials on every single skill that affects area of effect specials? Because it's getting a bit silly at this point. This being said, what I will say, okay, going from the top, slaying, great, +5 to all stats, normal at this point, guaranteed follow-up attack, guard, very good, but the big news, flat damage reduction. Flat damage reduction, and this is the first case we've had of flat damage reduction on a ranged unit. You've all seen what flat damage reduction can do for other units in this game. Summer Maria was very difficult to kill. Askr, his mythic version, is extremely tanky, and well, the big example is Brave Dimitri, who with his refine is a real just wall. Pretty much unkillable. Some of the best things in the game just plink off of him, because that's what happens when you have flat damage reduction. It's very good. Notably though, this first unit in the game to get flat damage reduction against AoEs as well. And it's scaled by difference between stats times 1.5, because that's how AoEs are scaled effectively. So basically, because yeah, AoEs deal damage based on their attack over your defensive stat. Here it's effectively giving you minus damage in the same scaling as that, but based on your defense advantage that you have over them. Pretty cool. Aside from that, Bonfire. Hey, what do you think the odds are that this unit that has defense-based flat damage reduction has high defense. I think it's pretty good. Defense, res, finish. 4 of the finish skills are very good. This one is defense res for reminds of what finish does because it's been a while since we've seen it. If units within free space of an ally, grants +7 to defense res during combat, and also if unit special is ready or triggered before or during combat, deals +5 damage during combat, and when unit deals damage to foe during combat, restores 7 hit points to unit, which triggers even if 0 damage is dealt. So yeah, it's a very good. It's +7 to 2 stats with an extremely easy condition, the free space condition. And then it's extra damage and it's healing. And that's just great. Honestly, that's just great. In the B slot, attack, res, tempo. Tempo and finish, of course, an obvious pairing with each other. You want to get your specials charged and ready for finish to activate. How are you going to do that? Tempo. Makes sense. And in the C slot, we have opened domain. Start of turn if units within 2 spaces of any allies from a different title than the unit. Grants resonance blades and resonance shields to unit and all allies within 2 spaces of unit. So for a reminder, that's +4 to all stats, and also foe cannot make a follow-up attack on their first combat. And also, if any unit or any of those allies has their special cooldown count at its maximum value, grants special cooldown count -1 to them. So again, this is Askr's PRFC slot, we've seen it before, but it is very good because you get that those 2 resonance effects, and you get AOE times pulse. Very good. Very good. I definitely want to pick this unit up, I'm not gonna lie. This kind of, well, flat damage reduction making a very tanky unit is already the sort of thing that I love to see, and this open domain, this AoE times pulse is something I've always wanted to play around with on defense, so glue these 2 things together and this looks like a really fun unit, not gonna lie. Also, yeah, as I said, New Year's banner. Love the New Year's banner. New Year's Alphonse was one of my original anchors for my defense team. Did some very good work, so I'm hoping I can bring a New Year's unit back onto the team at some point. This might just be the one. I am very low on orbs, but we'll solve that somehow, I guess. And they are a duo unit, so guess what else they have? Well, to begin with, how much damage have they taken from this Lilina? 2, so that's 11 flat damage reduction being reduced there, and healing that damage straight back up. Here's their duo skill. Grants attack speed, defense res +6 to unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn, and grants special cooldown count -1 to unit and those allies. So, with your times pulse and this duo skill, you're going to be able to completely pre-charge that bonfire or any other 2 cooldown special. Start of every 3rd turn, if duo skill has already been used, unit can use duo skill again. Okay, so it refreshes as well. Very simple. Duo skill, +6 Omni buff, and another not quite times pulse because it works even if their specials are partially charged already, but combine this in your times pulse effect, you can give all your allies within 2 spaces to charge. And you can do it again after the 3rd turn. So, yeah, that is solid, kind of working with what Duo Alphonse did before, which actually I see Duo Alphonse in the picture here as well, so they could be a great pair for each other. But yeah, really, really juicy skill. Let's see it in action, and they might show off some stats as well, I'm hoping.
How miserable.
Yeah, there we go. 42 defense, pretty dang solid that. going up to 48 with that buff. Very low speed, but it's okay because they have a guaranteed follow-up attack and built-in follow-up prevention from the harmonic effect. And they just obliterated that blow flyer. As for the paralog, yeah, Yarne, I saw the name there. I expect our Tempest Trial unit is Yarne. Yes. So that's going to be very fun. Again, this year looks like a really, really solid New Year's banner. They always are. I'm probably summoning for Askr, because honestly, Askr and Embla both are units that I absolutely love, and the style they've gone for on this unit just fits perfectly with how I love to play this video game. So that's something I'm really happy to see. And well, if I get any of the other units on this banner while I'm summoning, I will be very, very happy about it. Let me know what you guys think, honestly. Are you pulling on this? What do you think of the units? What do you think of the fodder as well? Because there's been some new skills introduced. Yeah, just let me know. And I will see you all next time. I was about to say next year, but I'll probably make at least a couple more videos this year. Penrost out.